Good afternoon, everyone. Please welcome Akashic Merrilee.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I paid all these people. Oh, well. That was unexpected, but it was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for those who were at my first workshop and had a chance to practice opening up your own records. So we'd like to hear from you at some point. And also, thank you for coming back and for all you are coming in for the first time. And people are here at the perfect moment, the perfect time for their experience. So I always believe that. And so I want to go over the agenda and then we'll get started. I do want to tell you this is a specific bowl that recently is very interesting because Rana Hermaine Bassine, who is the internationally known Archangel Michael channeler, and I've taken her master courses. I love Archangel Michael speaking through her.
No.
Well, I played this bowl for her, and I told her this is my Archangel Michael bowl. She started vibrating like never before, and she said she could feel Archangel Michael through this bowl. And also, you'll experience what you experience with this, but you can think of Archangel Michael as he comes through and see if you can feel those violet flames, because this is an amethyst. And we can feel the violet flames coming through, and violet is the flame of transmutation and transformation. It's the most powerful tool we can use on this planet right now, I believe, the transmutation of the violet flame. And Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel, Lady Amethyst, they're all working with the violet flame, and you can too, because we're becoming our own self-masters. Jesus said, you will be doing greater things than I. And he's right there walking with us. And so whatever religious background you have, you know, the Ascended Masters, the angelic realm, the elemental realms, everyone's working with us and supporting us. So this is a really special bowl because of that. And this is the emerald bowl. All these are quartz, fundamentally, and then infused with a gem. This is emerald. And this bowl said to me, as I was buying it, I want to be here for your wedding. And I said, oh great, you're the most expensive bowl in the place, but you know, I'm gonna buy you because you want to be with me. And this one is a amethyst as well. So we'll just do those, and I am going to be giving specifically a crystal bowls meditation workshop, and that's the day before Mother's Day on May 11th, Saturday. And so we'll have, Jeff and I will do that together, and we go up to you. How many of you experienced crystal bowls with us before? Okay. We go up to you, and we go through your aura with the bowls, and it's a great experience. So you can just relax into that. And we won't probably talk as much, but a little bit. Especially Aries Gemini. You're not going to have him not speak. Let's forget it. So on the agenda, welcome, namaste to everyone. Namaste. And I opened up my own records when I began this workshop. You can open up your records at any time. So that's a good thing. And I'll just say who I am briefly. Forgiveness prayer. Forgiveness is the top of what we need to do every single day. And I've noticed that I've gone through many situations, experiences, and people, and forgiven, but I also want to get to those finite points, so things will start popping up like, oh, I remember when I felt animosity towards someone, 50 years ago or so. And I'm like, oh, I need to forgive that situation. So it's really a time of forgiveness. There's so many forgiveness prayers. It's just one that I'm going to do from Patricia Cotarobas, the Era of Peace. So I love her vlogs. She channels. And so then we'll do opening of the Akashic Records, and we'll go through what's in your handout. You can follow that along. I did a one sheet, so it's easier than going through 3 sheets. And that's just a template. So you can take it and then you can tweak it and make it your own. The words aren't as important as the intention and the opening up to it. And so it doesn't matter. And then I have a diagram download that you have in your handout that I'll go over, and we'll reopen the records for 20 minutes. When you have the records open for yourself, you can journal it down or just think what you want to and remember what you want to from it. So if you have a pen and paper, I always like writing it out, but it's okay if you don't. And then closing the records, and then we'll have a discussion and Bowl singing goodbye to you, and of course we know. I was going to say that to the end, but it was appropriate. Anyone else in Aries here? Birthday month? Woo! When's your birthday?
March 21st, I started.
Oh, you began the process. Okay, thank you. Okay, so anybody have any questions about the agenda? If you need to get up and go to the bathroom, if you need to stretch, it's fine with me. Don't worry. So who I am is just brief. My profile is on AkashicMerrilee.com, so you can look me up there. I did begin with sight when I was in my crib, and developed hearing along the way. I feel really blessed to be in a family that was into metaphysical things. So when I was age 7, I began study of metaphysics, and really took it on. And heard Mother Mary's voice and so forth. I just love it. And whether people start on their spiritual journey at the end of their life or at the beginning, it's the important thing is beginning. And all of you have obviously begun, so namaste, honoring that. I was ordained by the Holy Spirit to do this work. Everybody was searching for their soul's purpose. Your soul's purpose is really what you're doing right now, to be in that moment of now, and then everything unfolds. So it's kind of interesting to be searching and grasping for things, but when coming back to yourself, you will be guided what the next step is. And a lot of times we want to finish our contracts, having a soul's purpose, to finish our contracts with relationships, especially family and friends. So part of that is our purpose. I was taking care somewhat of my stepfather and somewhat taking care of my son, and they both died in the end of 2016. When that happened, there was this rush of energy going through me that I can totally embrace this work more than I was doing before, because when you're finishing up contracts with people, it takes energy and time, and that's part of your soul's purpose. I contracted to help them out, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad it's over. Now my son comes through and talks to me, so it's good. So I want to do the forgiveness prayer before we start the bowls. I do want to say one more thing. I had food poisoning yesterday. And what I did this morning to help heal myself, besides taking homeopathic arsenicum album for food poisoning, is to open up my records. And when I opened up my records, I went into a meditation this morning. I asked my Akashic team, which we discussed in the first workshop, is gathering all those ones in the divine realm that can help you. They also help you gathering information, but they also help you with healing. And you can ask them to help you heal. So I just envisioned that, and I feel a lot better. So I'm very grateful for opening up my records. You can open up your records and bathe in the light and the love. You don't even have to ask a question. You just be present in that moment with the records. Just bathe in it. It's like taking an Epsom hot bath, relaxing. You don't have to ask a question. You just relax your mind. Although most people want to go in the records to ask a question about something to clarify or confirm what's going on for you. All right, forgiveness prayer. This is give credit to Patricia Colbert-Robus. It's a very short one, but I am a powerful force of the violet flame of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. I am the joy of forgiveness. The victorious violet flame of forgiveness now heals our bodies, harmonizes and stabilizes our feelings, illumines our consciousness, and sets us and all life evolving on this precious planet eternally free. And so it is. So it is. I'm just going to read St. Teresa of Avila too, because I love her. Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. All things are passing away. God never changes. Patience obtains all things. Whoever has God lacks nothing. God alone suffices. And her other prayer, which I love so much, is, may I be at peace. May my heart remain open. May I be aware of my true nature. May I be healed. May I be the source of healing to others. And may I dwell in the breath of God. Thank you, St. Teresa. follow me. You don't have to look in your handout unless you want to, for the invocation, opening up the Akashic Records. You'll follow through in your handout if you like to read it. But I'll just put us through that. Well, the purpose is allowing the truth to be revealed through our soul's agreements for the highest good of ourselves and all others. We begin with setting an intention for asking for divine guidance. Relax. Breathe. Breathe through your heart chakra if you so choose to. It's a great way to breathe, focus. We'll offer this opening prayer. We acknowledge the divine forces of light and divine powers of love in revealing the truth within the flower blueprint of life, kept within the sacred book of life, the Akashic Records. This is made known with our soul's agreements for the highest good of ourselves and all those connected to us. Oh, Holy Spirit, guide me to focus my attention, as it is my intention to speak the truth, hear the truth, and understand the truth in complete alignment with you. And we acknowledge and are grateful to the keepers of the records, especially Lord Micah, who are known as the Lords of the Records, the Book of Life. We ask joyfully to receive the Akashic team. That's your Akashic personal team of heavenly hosts, including ascended masters, angelic realms, elemental kingdoms, guides, loved ones, willing to assist us now. O Holy Spirit of divine oneness, may you protect and embrace this process according to God's most perfect plan. And we allow the healing to begin as we open up the Akashic Records. We open the records for, and say your name 3 times to yourself. Records are now open for yourself. Your full legal name is good to use. It is your birthright. This moment in time. The records are now open. We'll be silent for a few minutes. When you're ready to close the records, we'll offer this closing prayer. We give thanks to all who have shined their radiant light and love upon us now. And we ask for all benevolent energies to be lovingly integrated, all collective energies to be loved and return to their original source of creation. We affirm that all this is in divine, perfect order. All is complete. May we continue in our healing process, in this embrace of our Father, Mother, God. The records are now closed for, say your name. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. The records are now closed, and so it is. So it is done. That was beautiful. You all opened up like flowers to the sun. It was beautiful. If anyone would like to say their experience that they had right now, feel free. Richie?
Sure. It was really interesting that you said like flowers, because when I opened up the records, things are a little challenging, as I'm sure they are for everyone right now. And I was just struggling quite a bit. I was trying to find out what I was doing in creating this resistance and why things weren't going as smoothly. And I love flowers. And they showed me a little thought in my head of being a gardener with a wheelbarrow. And all my soul contracts were represented as beautiful little plants piled into this wheelbarrow. And I was pushing it, and the front wheel of the wheelbarrow had broken and had gone off, and I was stuck in this rut. And it wasn't that I was causing these flowers anything, or that I was in any way creating these flowers, but I was to help them with the contract of being able to help them find grounding, nourishment, light, and just helping them to get set in their own soil so that they could bloom. And nothing was happening because that wheelbarrow was just stuck in a rut. And I wasn't taking care of myself and my tools and what I needed to do, filling myself up and making sure I was full enough and not really fixed, but able. And I had been neglecting what I needed to do to stay on track to fulfill the contracts I have with the people that are coming into my life.
There's a real clarity for you. Being able to see it in a vision happens to me too. And to be able to then allow the process like you did. As soon as you said that wheelbarrow, I thought, oh, are you taking care of you? And so now you know what to do. That's what happens when you open the records and you tune in. A lot of times you get a vision or an inspiration. It doesn't have to be a vision, but it helps to clarify because you're really centered and you're receiving this divine light and energy that's so willing to help. What I saw when we opened up the records was for everyone that people were going into the library and there was Lord Micah and almost like a librarian handing out books. He was saying, here's the book you need about your life right now. This is the one. Because they know what you're going through. And it's almost like you're stepping into this library where the Lords of the Records that's their job. That's their purpose. That's their soul's purpose. And that's what they are called to and accept. And so they hand over this book and they say, this is the one you need to read right now. And so it's almost like you're talking to yourself. You're looking at your own story. You wrote the story. It's right there. That was beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else? did everyone feel they had opened up to the Akashic? Anyone not feel that they opened up? You have a comment?
No.
Oh, you felt like you didn't open up. It does take practice. It's different than meditation. What I find is that in meditation, there's a connection, a pathway. And when you open up the Akashic Records, you're talking to your soul with the help of the masters. And so you go to a deeper level. And with our intuition also being like a spark, you know, the records are like this iceberg in the deep water of the ocean, and the whole consciousness of water, right? So if you're in a boat and you're coming to this iceberg and you see the tip of it, it's like that's your intuition. And when you can see the whole of the iceberg, which the majority is under the water, that's the depth of the Akashic. And that's speaking with your soul. And when that happens, the Akashic energies start to melt away the iceberg. So you're going into your subconscious, you're going into your etheric body. The etheric body holds the memory. So we'll get into that. Anyone else have a comment? Yes?
I do.
Oh.
Okay, so would you say that before you open the records, that you have in mind a specific question or just a kind of a topic that you open to, or do you generally open with no specific topic?
You can do it either way, because what you're doing is you're practicing on the feeling of the Akashic energies. And so bathing in that light, in that love, might be all that you need in that moment. A lot of people have some yearning question they want cleared. You know, they're at a crossroads in their life and they've used their intuition, but they get stuck. When you get stuck, you open up the records clear the way. So if you have something specific, you open up the records, relax into it, get a feeling of it, and ask. You know, always asking and you will receive. So it's like Lord Micah's right there. Here's the book you need. And then you're looking and you're going, wow, this makes sense. Whether it comes to you in a thought form or in a vision or later on in a dream. So that's a good question. How many of you have experienced from the last workshop opening up your own records? Okay. And what would you like to say about that? That's different than before. Kathy?
I'll just say, I kind of go into it with the understanding that I'm going to be given the information that I am supposed to hear at this particular moment.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely do I go in with a specific question.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just go in with the intention and the belief that what I need to know will come through.
Right. Either way works. That works for you because you trust.
Right.
You already have fundamental trust.
Yeah.
And so that works for you really well. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Thank you. Oh, Randall?
Yeah, I didn't have any particular question. I just bathed in the wonderful energy I was feeling.
That's what I did.
Don't forget your Epsom salt bath. And Deborah, did you have something?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I didn't want to be in my head or in this particular instance.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being, it was more just a very white, open, loving space. And the only thing I just asked for healing, and I didn't feel like I had to have an answer. It was just to be there. And it felt really good.
That's a great way of even beginning with the records. But, you know, people at our crossroads, when people come to me are at a desperation point. Sometimes do I want to live? Do I want to die? Should I get a divorce? And these are really like, they're on your mind. And so it's relaxing into that energy and allowing that energy to penetrate you, to help heal you, because you not only have the information coming in, you have the energy of the Akasha, which is the divine light and the divine love that embraces you. So, does that make sense? Did you have an experience you wanted to say from before?
This one was more in tuned, I think, because, you know, I kind of been practicing, and today I was like, I just want to feel the love, and I just went in like that and felt it was kind of like in my own, but I felt everybody's like real happy, good, white energy, and I was like, well, that's nice, and I was happy that other people were feeling that, and then just sitting in it, and then I saw stairs, and then for me it was like an angel holding my hand, you know, when your kids are running, oh, follow me, just going upstairs. Never got nowhere, but I was having fun just running around in the stairs.
Right.
And I was like, this is so much fun, and just being happy. It felt good.
What a beautiful way to express that. To feel it, to see it, to know it, to trust it. And then you walk out of the records and you have a new energy. And that can guide you and direct you. And you can still get information later on. I notice even when we close the records, it's still processing, right? So some of that inspiration might come later on. That's great. Anyone else? All right.
For some reason, I like doing it with all of us. I don't know if I feel safer or what it is, but like today I really felt I allowed. I really said,
Yeah.
I just really allowed, and therefore I saw and I heard.
There's a collective consciousness when we open the records. So what Spirit said to me, Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel came in strong, and they said, we here today in this now moment are a group of light beings radiating so much light for the planet. We are birthing ourselves, and it's time to spread our wings and fly. Blessings from Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel as they came through, and they reminded me of the saying, which is so cool. It's like, come to the edge, come, you know, I'm calling you, come to the edge, come to the edge. I'm afraid. I'm not going to the edge. Come, come, come. And then we go there and we fly off. That's how it feels. It feels like someone last time said at the workshop, I feel like I'm home. When I go into that center, and I go into the meditation and reach that Akashic level of energy, deeply penetrating every cell of our DNA, it makes a difference. So, any other people want to say? Okay. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for even the quietness of your being present. That is tremendous as well. So, let's see. I want to do the download. Randy, can you pull that up? So I always ask for a download for my workshops, and this particular one, you've heard of probably Eckhart Tolle and the Power of Now. Well, I got the power in now. The power in now. So you have it in your handout, but I'm just going to go through it a little bit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He's my soul brother from the lineage of Lord Melchizedek, so he's able to do things like this. All right. So the power in now, activating the process of ascension to the 5D Akashic energies. We could have a whole list of the creator source going down with, you know, sub-universes and so forth, but this is an abbreviatory thing. So really, you have the divine perfect 5D blueprint, your Akashic soul memory. And what's interesting about that is that it's a permanent divine blueprint. And what is laid on top of that template is a temporary template. which is collected through the etheric twin imprint, which collects all your memories. It stores your memories of your experiences through the mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, actions, thoughts, from the beginning of time, from the beginning of our individualization from source. So we carry this double twin. I can see people's, I was wondering what that was. It's their etheric twin. And so what happens is, at a certain point in time, that the masters who are in charge of it, during our completion of our ascension process, individual ascension process, they take that temporary template off that that holds those memories and seed memories from the light and the shadow side of us. We have that divine perfect blueprint, which is permanent, and we have that one overlaying it. So that is taken off. We go through the ascension process and complete that, so that it brings us back to our original source of creation, our original true nature in complete form. So we have the crystalline light body, we have past, present, and future, and what we're doing is we're going to the Akashic Records, and whatever comes up from the past, we're bringing it into our present moment so that we can process it and heal and let it go. And that's why sometimes lifetimes will come up in a session, because that lifetime is in your vibration in the moment. That lifetime, depending on your attachment to it, can be let go of and sent with love. So you integrate those positive energies from your past, but let that past go, because it no longer serves you in the present moment, except for the wisdom and the love that you can bring into yourself and integrate it. So there's a difference between letting go of what you don't need, taking in what you do need, and the future, allowing and receiving, evolving, becoming. So what we're doing with the Akashic is bringing the present moment. So we may have a question about the future, we may have things come up from the past, but we're clearing all that out and bringing it into alignment, into the present moment, into that power of now. And when you experience Akashic over and over again, you'll experience that integration. So you're bringing your past and your future together into the now, into the knowing of this present moment. And like Kathy said, you might not even have a particular question, but your question is in your subconscious somewhere, right? If something is needing to be known. The Akashic record keepers know. I mean, Micah, his son of Archangel Michael, I'm always going into the library, and he's like, okay, here's the book for this person. This is what they need now. This is what's in that person's vibration. So when you go into your records, you'll be given the perfect information at the perfect time, or just the energy of it. So the etheric twin is larger than your body, but it is a duplicate, and it carries the light, it carries the shadow. So the accumulation of this, sometimes I'll look at someone's etheric and it's like it's really cloudy, right? So the best way of working with that is to ask for the violet flame, again, to transmute and transform those energies. But what happens is that temporary blueprint, an imprint, is recorded and then recorded onto that template that overlaps the divine perfect blueprint. All is in perfect order. I mean, this is just a wonderful thing to understand. Does that make sense? Make sense? Okay. That's the best I could think of, and just feeling that download of explaining how important it is to be in that moment. The power in now. Okay. And of course, Rumi says, what matters is how quickly you do what your soul directs. Yes. Moving forward, right? Anybody have any questions?
When you say permanent, is that what follows you in each lifetime? The permanent that doesn't ever change no matter what lifetime you're in?
Mm-hmm. That perfect blueprint is with our creator source here, our Akashic soul memory. And this is where we're being ascended back to. So what happens is we collect all this soul and memory in our etheric body that holds the source. So we're recording all our thoughts and our feelings, our actions, past, present, and sometimes future, thoughts. It's all being collected and stored. That recording is the temporary template that's over this divine perfect one. So you can say that divine spark in me is never going to be destroyed. It's alive and it's evolved. We are evolving back to our original source of creation because of the density of where we are right now. And so that energy can be transmuted by the violet flame. We also have Archangel Michael who can come in through his sword of truth and light. Sometimes I call both out, okay? Saint Germain and the violet flame and Archangel Michael through your sword. Okay, let's just do it. I think it's important to. So, but the etheric body travels with us. So it goes with us from lifetime to lifetime. And so we carry those recordings. That's why we can look back. When we open our records, we can easily get that vibration from the past because it's still there. The imprint is still there.
So sometimes those records you look back on aren't bright, shiny, happy things. They could be something dark and actually have smells and feelings to them that aren't connected with what you've experienced in this present now. And it's just something that you have to get rid of.
Right, and transmute and embrace.
Yeah.
Because
that's what happened to me. I'm hearing all this bright light, happy, shiny, and that's not what happened to me. It wasn't bright light, shiny, happy at all. It was.
So you're getting in touch.
From it.
You have the light and the shadow side of you.
Yeah.
We're all in this duality of ourself and our planet. So when we choose to go on the records and heal, we might be brave enough to look at that shadow.
Yeah, so that's why.
And then bring that forward and go, wow.
And I didn't ask. I just went in, and I found myself in a place that I'm very sensitive to smells, and it was overwhelming in odors and large rats and.
That's what I was smelling up here.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just pungent and ugly and overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you touched upon, it's almost like touching upon, it's almost like, do I want to just look at all the good things?
It was an experience.
Am I going like, oh, I've got some peeling skin from the sunburn,
Well, it was worse than that.
well, I'm trying to make light of it, but.
Yeah, but it was an experience that had happened to me at one time.
Right.
And I just had to process it.
Right. And that's the magic, Spirit saying, of the Akashic energies, because then it allows you to really go through a healing process.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing that in, seeing it. It's like all the transparency that's coming up right now with what's happening on Earth, our beautiful planet. It's like, why is this happening? Because it's being brought up to the surface. So it can be seen and it can be healed. And so you're doing that, you're ready for it. I must say that the Akashic, your masters in the angelic realm, and whoever's working with you, will always be of comfort and support and never go, oh, look at you, you're bringing up that dark part of yourself. Shame on you, or anything like that. It's like, even when the dark comes up, they're there to support. And I did a client recently that had so much light and so much shadow that sometimes the shadow, and I was doing it in person, right? So much shadow would come up that I could see an entity that had entered the space, that they had kind of carried with them in their aura. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to it right now. What we're going to do is we're going to keep working with the Akashic Records, knowing that the healing energy is taking care of it. And then if it would stay, I would just command it to leave, right? But the light and the shadow was just so, because this person had been like a Buddha-like person in a previous life. But what they were experiencing right now is the duality of the light and the shadow, and they're working on how to get back to that source of clearing and being able to be back into their center of who they really are. I mean, the duality is always there, but it lessens and lessens, and the extremes lessen and lessen as we keep our meditation going, we keep our thoughts positive. The records help bring us into a space that's very deep. And once you experience it, then, why not? And we're all becoming self-masters. And so that's why I like giving the workshop, because we're becoming our own masters. And Jesus and Saint Germain, they're all walking right next to us. They're not walking behind us or way ahead of us. They're walking right next to us. I can feel them holding your hand when you're in meditation. You can really feel the angels around you. And this room is just so full of your guides and your loved ones and the ones with you that are bringing in this light. So thank you, every single person, for being here and bringing in that light. So, who would like a angelic spray? This is blessed by Saint Germain. This comes from Arrow of Peace. I have to admit, this is my favorite, best for the illumination and remembrance of all oneness of life. So I'll put it over your crown. So close your eyes so it doesn't get in your crown chakra here. Welcome. Breathe that in. Deborah, you have a comment. Thank you.
I'm really glad you brought up your different experience, and it's always wonderful to understand when we're going into these spaces with that allowing of what we are experiencing compared to others. I had gone into a meditation and everyone was supposed to be in this light and loving space, and I went into a swamp with smells.
Yeah.
And it would have been really easy to shut that down, because it's like, no, I'm not supposed to be doing this. But with our practice, we learned to open it. And I have to tell you, as we went into the swamp, I met a person. See, this was 40 years ago. The most loving, the most incredible love I've ever felt in my life. Just to look in their eyes. And so even in that experience of still allowing and opening it, it can create these wonderful opportunities. And look, I mean, probably 40 years ago, and I still remember it to this. It was amazing.
See, I didn't fight it, I just allowed it to happen, and I knew it was something that has happened to me, and I just needed to understand some of the repercussions that I have experienced as a result of it. So,
What a process for healing.
yeah,
And
It is
that
a
deepness
good
and
process.
allowing.
yeah.
Because you can go in and you can touch upon the iceberg and go, oh no. But when you go in and you allow yourself to go deep, there's this huge iceberg that you didn't even know was there. And then you allow that to melt. So thank you for sharing that experience. Any more from the swampland?
I would just say whenever I've gone into terrifying spaces and, there's been good outcome, I'm just kind of like, I put on my armor with the understanding that I'm being shown this for my greater good currently. So whatever comes up for me, okay, why is this showing up? Is this part of the limiting belief that I've carried forward? That's kind of how I try to look at those things. And then I just let it flush through,
Yep.
as best as possible.
Yes. and if you need to work on it more, you can always close your records and come back. It's always there. And then you have so much support. How many of you feel the support from your angels, your guides, your loved ones? They send a master's angel. Not every moment, I know. But some of the time, right? You feel it. You feel it. They go into your aura and they surround you and they're walking with you. All you have to do is say, hey, I need your help. How many people have experienced that where you're like, oh, I can ask for help and you receive it? I mean, isn't that magical in itself? Because we think a lot of us think, oh, we got to do this on our own. And when you're opening the records, you're asking for your Akashic team. You're saying, hey, I need help. And they're right there. I mean, they love it. They love being asked. It's almost like a mom saying, what do you need? You wish the little baby could say, I am hungry right now. But no, it's just like, wah, okay, I'll figure it out. So, wow, that was beautiful. Really beautiful. Thank you so much. I sprayed everybody. Yes, I sprayed him too. He's wanting to take care of someone that I already sprayed. Would you like another spray?
Good, I think you're talking Kate.
No, I didn't know she went to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
They're taking care of other people. Time to take care of your own wheelbarrow. No. We do have a tendency to do those things, especially as moms. When I opened the records for my daughter, it was great because she's like, Mom, I don't know if I should ask you because, being a mom, she's my youngest. And the next day she called me and she's like, you weren't my mom. You were really there with what I needed to hear. And I was able to step back. So if you feel called after you practiced opening up your own records, if you feel called to do other people's records, then you would ask permission. And so it depends. Some people, just want to do their own. That's fine. And some people want to ask for others. Always get someone's permission, unless they're younger than 18 and you're the parent. You have a right to check it out. But once they're responsible, then my granddaughter couldn't wait until she was 18. Guess what? I'm like, what? You get to open my records now. Because she saw me opening the records for her father almost on a weekly basis. It's like, Mom. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is. So I think that it's a good time. If you're ready, we'll open up the records again. Because that's why we're here. It's practice. So wherever you need to be, in opening them up. And I'll go through this process again for this experience. So get into your space that you want to be in, whether it's your personal pyramid, or whether it's feeling the light and the love of truth that's going to be pouring through you in a space of gratitude, heart opening. You can set an intention or not. You're going to have a question or not. And just really knowing that whatever you need in this moment will come and be a part of your experience, and that's okay. So relaxing, breathing and trusting in this moment, this power of now, integrating past, future, into this present moment where the Akashic Records are in this present moment, giving you that inspiration to let go, to allow, to release, to become, to evolve back into this present moment of time. We acknowledge the divine forces of light and the divine powers of love in revealing the truth within the flower blueprint of life, kept within the sacred book of life called the Akashic Records. This is made known with our own soul's agreement for the highest good of ourselves and all of those connected to us. Oh, Holy Spirit, guide us to focus our attention, as it is our intention, to speak the truth, hear the truth, understand the truth, know the truth, in complete alignment with you in this present moment. Acknowledging our grateful to the keepers of the records who are known as the Lords of the Akashic Records. And we ask and are joyfully receiving our Akashic team, the heavenly hosts, including ascended masters, angelic realms, elemental kingdoms, guides, loved ones, willing to assist us now. O Holy Spirit of divine oneness, may you protect and embrace this process. We are safe and protected in the Akashic energies, according to God's most perfect plan for us. We allow the healing to begin as we open now the Akashic Records. We open the records for. The records are now open. The records are now open. The records are now open. Thank you. the records, we offer this closing prayer. We give thanks, so much gratitude to all who have shined their radiant light and love upon us now. Thank you for opening up our hearts. And we ask for all benevolent energies to be lovingly integrated, and all collective energies to be loved and returned to their original source of creation. We affirm that all is in divine, perfect order. All is complete at this moment in time. And may we continue in our healing process in the embrace of our fellow Mother God. Thank you. The records are now closed for. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. So it is. So it is. Amen. Thank you for sharing that experience, as a collective and as a personal experience, as everyone was processing so deeply. And anyone have a comment about their experience?
It felt like things were being brought up to be processed, like this, this, and this, and there, just a lot. And so I didn't try to hold on to go into deeper. I just allowed it to come up. But that was completely different than the first one we did. So is that also what can happen too?
Yeah, your experience is your experience. So whatever you need in the moment is what's going to happen. So this is what was needed in the moment. So you bringing that stuff up, what's also good, since some of it is in your etheric body that I can see, is to bring in that violet flame. After you process, as long as you need to process, then just ask Saint Germain, the violet flame, or whoever, but that's how I do it, is it to go through your etheric body with the violet flame, and your mental, emotional body, physical bodies. So that causal realm that needs to be cleared every day, actually, because we pick up things. But I'm seeing that, you're bringing stuff up, and so it's right there to be transmuted. Okay? Yeah, it's good. Anyone else?
I just want to say that I felt I went so far away that it was amazing to me. I wasn't here at all, and just was somewhere, and there was tons of beautiful colors, but it was just very relaxing and very releasing.
You came home to yourself in a way, maybe. Isn't that beautiful? Just so simply to be relaxed. And then reconnecting and integrating everything together. Bringing those energies to ourselves. Releasing the past, bringing those energies, integrating the wisdom, the love, the light. Forgiving. And then the future looks bright because we're allowing it to be, allowing it to unfold. So one thing I saw was, for myself, was Mother Mary's presence. Anyone else feel her presence here? That divine feminine presence, just with her blue cloak, just embracing everyone, felt really powerful. And I thank you, Mother Mary, for your divine, loving presence. Kuan Yin, there's so many beautiful divine presences, whoever you feel close to. Call on them for the healing light to come through. And I saw how the Akashic Records help to accelerate the ascension process. We're all going through the ascension process. The planet is going through this ascension process, but we're individually and collectively going through it. The Akashic Records can help to accelerate it. So we're all in this cocoon, and then we come out as butterflies. And the more we meditate, the more we pray, the more we get into our center, the more we allow the energies to come through, we're accelerating at a quick pace and being supported. And the Akashic Records can help during this process of ascension. And I also saw personally, I saw a past life where I had a locked chain on my wrist. And I don't know if it was connected to something, but I saw it there and I saw it being released. And so then I asked the violet flame to come through and just transmute those energies, then back to their original form. You could also ask the emerald green flames to come and heal you, the golden light from the grand central sun, however you do it. You know, we're just really grateful that all this can happen and be released. You know, layers and layers of stuff, right? We're living in a duality, so we always have that light and that shadow. And sometimes we're feeling the light, sometimes we're feeling the shadow. So how do we allow and breathe through the light and the shadow? And then we're getting closer to integrating that to where it's only light. Our ascension process is complete at some point, or whatever your belief system is. So, yes.
Merrilee, how often do you recommend going to the Akashic Records?
You can go there every day. And just bathe in the records. It's good to start with like 15 minutes when you're practicing of opening, you know, but just allow yourself, you know, as a guideline, and probably keep them open for no longer than an hour, because if you go for an hour and a half, which some clients have done, it's like an overload in that moment. You know, it's an overload for me and for them. And it's almost like eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same meal. So you know you're hungry, but you can be fulfilled and then open them up later again. It's a beautiful experience. I'm so glad.
It's cool. It's cool. I was actually given a necklace, a beautiful amethyst necklace. A being came in. It was really cool. And yeah, she came in and adorned me. It was beautiful. I loved it.
It's great to be able to receive.
Yeah.
Yes.
What happens if either you forget or you don't close the records?
What I do is sometimes I open them up while I'm going to sleep. So I say to the Akashic beings, I say, could you please close my records in an hour if I am going to sleep and I forget? So that they always know, okay, the records will close at that time. Or if you go into a deep meditation, you're like, I just want to meditate. When I awaken, if I'm not that aware, can you please close those records? Thank you. That's good. That's a good question.
When you open them when you're going to sleep, so are you hoping to glean like subconscious intuitions while you're sleeping through them? Okay, I was just kind of wondering why you would.
Right, because I meditate before I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, in case I do fall asleep during this meditation, but the process still continues and it ends when it's needed. So you can always put out that intention. When the process is not needed any longer, will you please close those records for me? Because you're asking for them, for your help in case.
Right.
In the morning you wake up, oh my God.
With an Akashic angle.
Oh, yes. Yes. Take your Nux vomica. Okay. Yeah, Randy.
Is there a problem with if you forget to close them? I would imagine that'd be taken care of for us automatically in some manner. I would
Right.
think.
So what we were just saying, the two people had the same question as you.
Yeah, but
Is that different?
you're saying you have put the attention out.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what would happen if they weren't closed?
Oh, you kept them open.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. You want to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same time?
yeah,
It's like an overload.
I see.
I notice after an hour and a half of working with a client, it's like it's overload because you're receiving so much. It's like what they're saying is like going into the sun and saying, I'm going to sunbathe and get that prana energy, which the etheric body also, besides storing memory, also receives planetary and pranic energies. So there's a dual purpose for our physical body. but poor thing. He wants to go back into the records. He's like, it was so good.
Oh, he's coming to see you.
Yeah.
Our guides
So-
wouldn't, take care of that for us?
Oh, experiment.
Okay.
Yeah, experiment and see how it feels. You know, I like to have a closure. It's almost like when you leave something open, like if you left a pot on the stove with a fire on it, you know, it's good to be able to turn off that flame. So even if you start and you go, okay, spirit guides, you know, when I'm ready to close, just close for me. I want to give thanks to you right now,
That's a good practice, I would think, yeah.
so you don't fall asleep and, you know. Let me know what happens.
Many times when I'm in the records, if I have a specific thing I'm working on, I'll know eventually when they're ready to close, or when I'm done, I'm complete, you know, as they say, you know. So when you start to get used to that, you go, oh, I see now. I may want to know more, but it's not meant to be now. And that's an intuitive feeling. And it's like, okay, even though the question I'm asking may not have been answered specifically, it's another question that comes with answers. But eventually you get to that point where you realize, okay, I'm done. You know, there's nothing more that they're going to say to me now that I need to know. Right? Sometimes, like you said, can be an overload. And even though your mind may want more, you get this feeling that, okay, I'm done. You know, I'm complete. I'm ready to
It's
close.
good to be in tune with your intuition
I
at
see.
that point. It's true. Yeah, Steve.
I wasn't ready for this. I went in with no specific purpose, just whatever I need, and quickly left the planet and was told, you're not from there. And I was like seeing the solar system from the opposite side.
That doesn't surprise me.
I really didn't consciously think that this was an earthly experience, but I was like, was surprised to be doing this again. And then just completely lost any sense of anything. And then literally felt like a bumpy landing back in this reality.
Was that when I rang the?
No, so
Oh, good. I didn't do
2
it.
minutes before that. It was like,
Wow.
I'm back. That was really kind of I've only ever done anything like that once before.
Wow.
And that was,
So in your vibration was your desire. So sometimes we experience something that's right there in our vibration, whether it's speaking to someone that's passed on, or that's traveling galactically. If it's strong in our desire when we open the records, then we can experience it. Yeah. Anybody else fly? Did anyone else fly to another world, another planet?
I have once. I went to outer space, but I stayed in the solar system because Earth was like the size of my thumbnail. That's how far out I was. But this was completely gone.
Wow. Very nice. So grateful. Really grateful. So I can end with the bowls and remember we have Archangel Michael. I think I'll end with the emerald because it's very grounding. If anyone before they leave needs to be grounded, I do have my grounding tuning forks. If you feel like you're gonna fly away, this will help. All right. total gratitude for this experience. I'm so honored for everyone's presence here and for the divine presence that is here as well. Yes, Jeff?
If people want to get a hold of you for private readings or to watch this video, where do they go?
The handout folder has my card in it, and it also has a discount coupon. So happy, happy, happy. If you are a senior or student that has limited income, don't let that stop you. Make it work. So I love doing this work, and sometimes I do help people out in those circumstances, which is fine.
What's your website?
Okay, it's AkashicMerrilee.com.
Would you spell that, please?
AKASHIC Merrilee, MERRILEE.com. I forgot, I'm being recorded, so it's important. Okay, yeah. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste to you. If anyone, thank you for that clapping. That does sound good. If anyone wants tuning forks to help ground them, some of you know how to ground yourself really well. I definitely need this myself.